Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Firstly, I would like to express my gratitude and appreciation and thank you very much to Yang Berusaha Madam Yaumi Hayati binti Muhammad Yusof, our lecturer for the subject of OSM 753 Contemporary Issues in IT Management, University Technology Mara, Lumun Campus. My name is Ariffatri bin Muhammad with student ID 2019-645732. Today I will present on my individual assignment number 1 under the topic is Research in Malaysia, Past, Present and Future Direction, in which the topic I have chosen is topic number 6, which is for years there has been controversy about whether radio waves from cell phones increase the risk of brain cancer. Find recent studies. What were their conclusions? Discuss and justify your answer. With that, without further ado, I would like to continue my presentation with the content of my presentation. Now, I would like to explain about the content of my presentation. Number 1, I will talk about the introduction and definition, in which I will define the term radio wave, the brain cancer, and the recent study which is I'm referring to. The term recent here, in which period I'm referring to. And then number 2, I will look into Malaysian cases and experience, in which I will put into the recent Malaysian studies or article related to whether or not radio waves from cell phones could cause brain cancer. Number 3, I will go straight to international cases and experience, in which I will list down the latest article or recent studies supporting that radio wave from cell phones could cause brain cancer. And then number 4, I will go straight to the latest international article also, and also recent studies that shows radio wave from cell phone does not cause brain cancer. After explaining all the number 2, 3, and 4, I will go straight to the reality, the fact, in which frequency or in which exposure to the radiation that may cause cancer. I will explain at number 5, and then I will go straight to the conclusion and suggest for the recommendation. And finally, I will explain about the reference that I use for this presentation. With that, we continue my presentation with the introduction and definition, especially on the first topic under this item, radio wave. Now let's go to our first topic under introduction and definition. We will talk about radio wave. How does it look like and what is the definition of radio wave? Radio waves look like this. You can see the signal and AM and FM under the signals, and we can find the AM and FM when we want to browse for the radio channel using the radio. And radio waves are kind of electromagnetic radiation used in communication technology via certain devices that convert them into mechanical vibration in a speaker to create sound waves. The devices include television, phones, mobile or cable, radios, etc. And this is based on Jim Lucas' 2019 article. And how does the sound wave look like? This is how the sound waves look like. We can see the vibration goes straight to our ears to create sound, and under the first picture there is another picture of another category of sound wave. And then what it actually means by electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation look like this. You can see the movement of the radiation. And then we can also look into the definition of electromagnetic radiation. Refers to electrical and magnetic disruption that passes through space at light speed that does not contain mass or charge but travel in radiant energy packet called photons or quanta. This is based on the article by Robert Pertwacko, 2014. An example of electromagnetic radiation are radio waves, microwaves, infrared, ultraviolet, gamma, and X-rays. And what is photon and what is quanta? Photon is a tiny particle of light. This is how it looks like. And quanta is the plural of quantum. Quantum is singular and by nature is the tiniest particle ever exist. Now let's go to the second topic under introduction and definition, which is brain cancer. Before that, I will explain the definition of cancer itself. Cancer refers to the abnormal growth of normal cells in the body. This is based on Orang 2019. And with this definition, we can conclude that the brain cancer refers to the abnormal growth of normal cells in the brain. And this is how the cells look like. The left side is normal cells and how it's developed surrounded by the other healthy normal cells. And for the left side, refer to cancer cells and how it developed surrounded by the normal cell, but outside the standard area where the cells should be developed. And from here, I will also explain about the recent studies. The recent studies here are refer to any studies or article that published between 2015 until 2020 as the parameter for this presentation. Now we go to the topic, the recent Malaysian studies or article related to the whether or not radio waves from cell phone could cause brain cancer. Actually, this topic is related to Malaysia cases, Malaysian experience, and I have discovered two important articles which relate to it. Number one, from Loh Foon Fong 2017, and this article mentioned that cell phones do not cause brain tumors and justified by the tremendous increase in the use of cell phones for the past or in the last 20 years has not given any impact on the number of the brain cancer or has not been given any increment in the number of brain cancer cases for the past 20 years. Number two, based on the Bernama 2019 article, in which it's mentioned about the use of 5G telecommunication technology that falls under non-ionizing radiation emit to radio wave electromagnetic frequency. So this has not caused any brain tumor. I would like to continue my presentation with latest article or recent studies supporting that radio waves from cell phones could cause brain cancer. And under this topic, I have discovered around 8 related articles from 2015 to 2020. And the first article is from El Falcioni et al. 2018. And based on this study, it shows that the Ramazzini Institute findings on the far-field exposure to radio frequency radiation, RFR, are consistently with and reinforce the result of the NTP study on near-field exposure, as both reported an increase in the incidence of tumors of the brains and heart in RFR-exposed Sprague Dawley rats. In this, it shows that the existence of the brain and heart cancer tumors when it's being exposed with RFR. Article number 2 from Michael Paley et al. 2018 refer to the considered associate of radio frequency radiation and highly elevated hematolymphatic HL cancer risk in the 4 groups spread over 3 countries. And then operating different RFR equipment type and analyzed by different research protocol. And for this study, it suggests for cause-effect relationship between RFR and HL cancers in military and occupational setting. And exposure incurred in the military setting evaluated here significantly increased the risk of HL cancers over RFR. What is hematolymphatics? Hematolymphatics refer to the disease that include the disorder that affect the red and white blood cells, platelets, endothelial cells, or lymphocyte cells and tissues. And then we continue with the third article, cancer.gov 2019. It actually stated that a few studies have shown some evidence of statistical association of cell phone use and brain tumor risk in humans. Number 4, the article from Anthony et al. 2019 suggested that last year of carcinogenicity study in rodent exposed to level of RFR shown significantly increased rates of schwannomas and malignant gliomas as well as chromosomal DNA damage. What is schwannomas and what is malignant gliomas? Schwannomas, refer to the tumor that develop from Schwann cells in the principal nervous system and then in cranial nervous system. And then how about the malignant gliomas? Malignant gliomas refer to the brain cancer at malignant level. Malignant here is very dangerous as compared to benign. Malignant is also known as terminal and advanced stage of brain cancer in this case. Next we go to the article number 5, in which from Anthony B. Miller et al. 2018, which highlight increased risk of brain tumors associated with mobile phone use, beside other type of cancer, which is vestibular nerve and salivary gland tumors. Number 2 is also highlight 9 studies from 2011 until 2017 report increased risk of brain cancer from mobile phone use. And then from here, it's also highlight 4 case control study, 3 in 2013 and 1 in 2014, report increased risk of vestibular nerve tumors. And number 4 is also highlight about concern for other cancers, breast, male and female, testes, leukemia, and thyroid. Based on the evidence reviewed, it is our opinion that International Agency of Research on Cancer IARC's current categorization of RFR as a possible human carcinogen group 2B should be upgraded to carcinogen to human group 1. What is the meaning of carcinogen? Carcinogen is an agent with the capacity to cause cancer in human. So we go straight to the article number 6, based on Ronald L. Melnick's 2018, has highlighted that tumors of the same cell types has been reported in human studies of cell phone users. Number 2, DNA damage was increased in brain of exposed rat and mice. And number 3 is also indicate that the animal data are relevant and useful for assessment of human health risk. And article number 7 here, based on Matthew Tontono's 2019 article, found out that there is a clear evidence that cell phone radiation will cause a type of nerve tissue cancer called malignant schwannoma in rats. They also reported finding that they said was some evidence in the animal studies that cell phone radiation could cause a brain cancer called glioma. What is schwannoma? Schwannoma refers to the tumor that developed from the Schwann cell in the peripheral nervous system or cranial nervous system. And glioma itself is a brain cancer. Next we go to the 8th article, Morgan et al. Et al. 2015, which conclude that radio frequency field should be classified as group 2A probable human carcinogen under the criteria used by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. And that is the list of 8 articles that I have discovered, which is supporting that radio waves from cell phone could cause brain cancer. Now let's continue with presentation. For the next topic, latest article or recent studies that shows radio waves from cell phones does not cause brain cancer. I have discovered also 8 important articles from 2015 until 2020. The first article from Brenda Goodwoman, 2018, mentioned that there is some evidence that the radiation from a cell phone can increase the risk of having a rare type of nerve tumor or schwannomas. But in humans, schwannomas are incredibly rare and usually benign. What is benign? Benign is some type of cancer which is not really dangerous depending on which location is located. And the patient who experience the benign type of cancer has more chances to survive as compared to malignant type of cancer. Number 2, based on an article by Charles Smith, 2018, where here it's mentioned about the non-ionizing radio frequency radiation, which also covers cell phones and other wireless devices, may hit tissue by exciting its molecules, but does not cause cancer. So Number 3, by article by Maggie Fogg 2018 explained that and mentioned that sulfur radiation may sometimes cause tumors in rat at high frequency. However, that is not happen in human, or but not in people. So the fourth article by Sheena Shrugs, PhD 2018, explained based on the National Toxicology Program (NTP), concluded there is clear evidence that male rats exposed to high level of radio frequency radiation, and there are some evidence of tumor in the brain and adrenal gland of exposed male rat, but the study does not mention any issue related to human, which relate to the RFR. And number 5, based on Health Feedback, the Orang 2019 article, to date, there is no evidence that radio frequency causes increased risk of cancer in human, while experimental studies in animal have shown increased incidence of certain tumors such as heart schwannomas upon prolonged exposure to radio frequency. Their relevance to human is still in question. And then number 6, based on article by Dennis Thompson 2015, it shows that low intensity electromagnetic wave helps slow a quick growing and deadly form of brain cancer. This is reported by the researchers, and this article showing a different side of story related to the electromagnetic wave, in which it's being used to help in slowing down the quick growing and deadly form of brain cancer rather than causing the cancer itself. And then number 7, based on health.com 2018, there is mentioned that there's no solid evidence that our phone, increase our chances of developing a brain tumor. Here, it's also mentioned that brain cancer rates stay stable, even though there's a lot more cancer cases since mobile devices were invented. Which means that even though there's a lot more mobile devices invented, cancer cases does not increase or changes in its volume, number of patients today. And then we go straight to Barcelona Institute for Global Health, ISG Global 2018. It shows that no clear evidence were found between occupational exposure to high frequency electromagnetic field, EMF, and risk of glioma or meningioma. Glioma is referring to brain cancer. Meningioma is also some kind of cancer. In one of the largest epidemiological studies performed to date and led by IS Global, an institution supported by La Scienza Foundation. So these are 8 articles which against the topics which mention that and supports the statement that shows radio wave from cell phone does not cause brain cancer. Now we go straight to the next topic, which refers to is it really that radio wave through the use of cell phone may cause brain cancer? How radio wave cause cancer? Can radio wave cause cancer? We will try to answer the question, and the fact that ionizing radiation with high energy radiation and higher energy UV radiation capable to remove electron from an atom that will destroy the DNA inside the cells that may cause cancer. This is based on the American Cancer Society Medical and Editorial Content Team 2020 article. This is the fact why cancer happens, which relate to the radiation, radio frequency radiation, when it is ionizing radiation. So, from here, radiation exists across a spectrum from very low energy, low frequency radiation to very high energy, high frequency radiation. I believe that low energy frequency or low frequency radiation refer to non-ionizing low frequency radiation, non-ionizing radiation, while the high energy or high frequency radiation refer to ionizing radiation. This can be proven through the electromagnetic spectrum scheduled here. So if we can see here that from this part until this part, it is non-ionizing radiation, while from this part to this part, this is ionizing radiation. Inside here, we can see where is the mobile phone located. The mobile phone is located around this non-ionizing radiation area. Here is it, mobile phone with 1.9 to 2.2 gigahertz. While the other side should be more than, I believe, more than 5 gigahertz, that may cause or have the risk of cancer development. Now, as a conclusion and recommendation, I would like to conclude that within 2015 until 2020, studies in Malaysia shows radio waves through the use of cell phone does not cause brain cancer. Plus, studies outside Malaysia indicate 2 opinions. Number 1, that radio waves through the use of cell phone could cause brain cancer, and number 2, radio waves through the use of cell phone does not cause brain cancer. However, generally, high frequency radiation may cause brain cancer, and there is no concrete evidence that radio waves from cell phone used may cause brain cancer to human in short or long term. From here, I would like to suggest several recommendations. Number 1, further study on the effect of radio wave from cell phone to cause cancer in other part of body in short term and long term. Number 2, there should be more study to further ascertain that radio waves through the use of cell phone may cause brain cancer in long run. And from here, that's all the presentation. I will continue with explaining the reference that I used as for my presentation. My presentation are developed based on 22 articles that I have discovered, and these 22 articles came from different areas, and actually from the period between 2015 until 2020. And with that, that's all my presentation. And then, thank you very much for everything. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.